noticed you mentioned in your prayer that some of our veterans that come back are suffering some terrible problems from things that they went through. And right here we have Dan Greathouse, my good friend, and most of you know Dan. Dan is just a living miracle.
And I'll be looking for another band since I missed the very long song.
Several years ago, Dan had a brain injury, and the Lord led him to a doctor that was able to give him some special treatment that just gave him a total recovery. And Dan has now taken on a project to help veterans, that some who may be able to benefit from the same procedure he had, and so he'll tell you about that project and give you a summary of his story. Yeah.
It's under 5 minutes, I promise, Lemon. Thank you, Lemon, for letting me have this opportunity. I would like to thank God for answering my prayers 22 years ago, and Dr. Paul G. Harch of New Orleans, Louisiana, for giving me back my brain. On August the 1st, 1991, I found myself wearing a prison uniform in a jail cell. I stared in disbelief at the commitment papers that had been handed to me by the mental hospital where I had checked myself in for help. I'd been transported in handcuffs and now stumbled back and forth in solitary confinement, mumbling in slurred speech, "God help me, God help me." I was past the accepted time limits for successful treatment. Did I even have decompression sickness? Although everything had specifically gone wrong with me following a scuba diving accident at Lake Powell 2 months earlier, 35 medical professionals could not confirm that diagnosis. Not even the neurologist to whom I had been referred to by the Divers Alert Network. The MRIs and CAT scans showed nothing wrong. Consequently, the final diagnosis was severe mental illness requiring institutionalization. Now I truly doubted my sanity. Transported in handcuffs in a bus full of prisoners to the worst hell I could ever experience, a mental hospital where I was drugged beyond comprehension. A particularly difficult place to be, as I had just recently achieved year 3 of sobriety. I was told by a psychiatrist that I had just made up these symptoms, including balance problems, depression, suicidal thoughts, slurred speech, memory loss, and inability to play the piano. The day my mother checked me out, I was plotting my suicide because I had no hope, nor did I wish to live in a drug-induced zombie-like existence. I told her, "Mom, they say I can teach." Funny, they told me one thing, but the psychiatrist warned her about taking me to Dr. Harch, saying, "Mrs. Greathouse, your son will never be well." My father, mother, and brother never gave up on me, particularly my father, who believed that because we'd put a man on the moon, something could be done to help his son. My first words to Dr. Harch were, "Doc, I want my brain back." He performed medical assessments, including SPECT brain imaging of the damage. Dr. Harch started the therapy, and the hyperbaric miracle began. One night, my balance suddenly returned. Another afternoon, when in the chamber, I began singing loudly as the music and rhythm returned. I continued to improve in all areas with further treatments. I returned to my teaching job. I completed my master's degree and became a professional educational diagnostician. I served as president of the New Mexico Council for Educational Diagnostic Services. I have presented at educational conferences in the United States, the United Kingdom, in Warsaw, Poland. I currently perform in 4 bands and have been sober for 25 years. I have a master's certificate in brain injury from George Washington University. I have published numerous educational research articles. In my book, Doc, I Want My Brain Back, containing the detailed story of my successful treatment from the medical genius of Dr. Harch, will be released this November. God has revealed to me that my life's purpose is to be the patient who helped to usher in the era of the oxygen revolution, the only brain injury repair the world has ever seen. Join forces with me to hold high the light of hope through Dr. Harch's hyperbaric miracle for all to see that there is something to repair people, especially our veterans with TBI and PTSD. Please find in front of you information where you can make a direct donation that will provide hyperbaric oxygen brain injury repair for our veterans. If you cannot make this tax-deductible donation, at least pass this information on to someone who can. Please help me stop the 22 veteran suicides that occur each day. If you have any questions regarding this therapy, please feel free to talk with me at the conclusion of today's program.